So welcome back to another episode. And no, I did not sell this collection, but there was a time in my life when I sold most of my collection. At least 75, maybe 80% of it. And I've never told the story before, and I thought I'd tell it today. Man, it's quite fun, but I'll put it to you guys. Have you ever had to sell your collection? Maybe you wanted to sell it for one reason or another. Maybe you had to sell it for another reason. Definitely tell the story down below. It'd be interesting to hear about. Man, this is funny. I was sitting at work and I was like, I gotta tell this story because it's funny how it kind of happens to you. And it took me a long time to build my collection back up. What happened? It must have been 1993, 1994, and a game came out, Lunar. This is the copy right here. Lunar, the Silver Star Story on the Sega CD. A game I had been anticipating for years. I had a TurboGrafx CD. I had Ease. I was really loving full motion cinematics, anime style at the time. Orchestrated music on CD. Loved the CD format. I can say that. So when I was seeing Lunar in the back of video game magazines, I'm like, I cannot wait till this comes out. And Working Designs, a great company that did a lot of translations, brought out Lunar. Where I couldn't get it day one because I didn't have a Sega CD. I already had a TurboGrafx CD-ROM. That's all my parents were going to do, and I don't blame them. That was already enough, but Lunar. Goddamn Lunar. So I would go into a place, I think I've talked about it before, Master Player. It existed up here in Canada. It was a bit of a chain at that time. It no longer exists now. And I did something, I was looking around my room and I thought, I was looking at my old games and I had this thought, hey, I don't play a lot of these anymore. I should just trade them in and get a Sega CD. I should do that. But then I'm like, yeah, I could sell a lot of these games and buy a brand new machine that had just come out, the Sega CDX. And this machine was so sleek and fucking compact and so damn cool. You could hook up you could put your Genesis cartridges in here, your Sega CD, games right in here, all in one. So I'm like, oh good, so I started thinking, I can sell some systems. Boy. What we do at the time and look back on and regret. So I collected all my old systems and all my old games, and like 80% of it. I kept a lot of stuff like my Phantasy Star games, the Ease games, a lot of games that really meant something to me. And I sold a lot of games that did mean something to me. And that's the one I always look back on, and it took me years of buying a game here and there once in a while to get it back to, get those games back that I loved. And, it was like Thunder Force 2. And a lot of these are not expensive games, but they meant something. Seventh Saga, stuff like that. Demon's Crest. A lot of them I didn't sell. Like Link to the Past I didn't sell. I'm glad I didn't sell that. But pretty much everything else, Super Mario RPG, I still had the original of that. But everything else, all my old Genesis games, a lot of Super Nintendo games, a lot of NES games. I took them down there, and I think I got maybe $200 for it, and then I had $200 I'd saved up, and I was able to buy this machine. I think it was $3.99, and I got it, and I brought Lunar home, and I played it, and Lunar was great, but Lunar could not hold the weight of what I'd just done, selling my entire collection of games. And as soon as I'd done it and the coolness of Lunar had worn off into, yes, I had finished Lunar and I'd gotten everything out of Lunar I could, and I was enjoying the Sega CD games, don't get me wrong, but I started to think about all those games I sold, and the regret kicked in, and I was like, oh no, damn, but it's not so bad. It's years later I've been able to get a lot of them back and get some of that nostalgia back for me, because that's why I was upset I lost games, got rid of the games in the first place. But guys, have you ever sold any of your collection? Have you sold all of your collection? Have you had to move? and you had to get rid of everything, or your parents said, hey, get this crap out of here. I know a lot of people back in the day where, you know, Rob told me stories, it happened to me too, where you'd get like a Super Nintendo game or an NES game, and your parents are like, oh, you don't need the box anymore, and they throw the box out, and you just have the cartridge. God damn our parents. But there's a lot of different reasons why you can sell a collection or get rid of it. A lot of it can be for a good reason. Maybe sometimes you're feeling, hey, I'm outgrowing video games, like moving on to other things. That was never me. But maybe that was you at some time. So, anyways, guys, I just thought I'd tell you the story of Lunar. It's a great game. It's fantastic. But it made me sell my entire collection, you know, as well as for the Sega CDX. But I had a lot of good times with this stuff as well. But, man, it took me a long time to build the collection up again. So, anyways, guys, until next time.